Taylor Swift's team is now coming out swinging, and that is super interesting. An article just dropped about Taylor Swift is alleging that Blake Lively is lying, but is Taylor telling the truth, or is this just a strategy to save her own skin?
I mean, my friends, there's sort of like a unspoken code that we're there for each other and we would never turn on each other. It's like kind of like this alliance that is the best kind of friendship you can have.
Really? For Taylor? I mean, honestly, she was with me on this experience the whole time.
Trying to downplay Taylor's involvement, right? She's been trying to say, oh, you know, she just popped up, and now there's sources saying Taylor just happened to be in the room that day. She didn't even mean to have a meeting with Justin. It seems like Team Taylor is trying to back up as far as possible from the situation, which makes
Taylor Swift and Blake Lively have been close friends for years, but recent rumors suggest their relationship might be on the verge of a serious fallout. If even half of the rumors are true, it's easy to understand why Taylor might want to distance herself from Blake. This situation goes beyond typical Hollywood drama. It's a mix of a friendship unraveling, career politics, power plays, and what seems to be a fair amount of manipulation. So what's going on? Reports suggest that Taylor feels like Blake has been using her in a feud with Justin Bond, who is directing It Ends With Us*. At first, I was confused. What could Taylor possibly have to do with this movie? She's over here dominating the music scene, breaking records and selling out stadiums. How did she suddenly get dragged into a Hollywood drama that she never signed up for? It all started with a tense meeting at Blake and Ryan Reynolds' penthouse. Justin Bond was there to discuss some rewrites for the movie, but the situation quickly became much more complicated when Taylor showed up. She had no idea the meeting was even taking place. She thought she was just stopping by to visit Blake like any friend would. But instead, she found herself right in the middle of a heated argument. Justin, who was about to leave, ended up meeting Taylor for the first time, and all she said to him was that she was excited about the movie because he was her friend's boss. That's it, no deeper involvement. Yet somehow, Taylor's name is now everywhere in connection with this drama, largely due to Blake's presentation of the situation. It's starting to seem like Blake is positioning Taylor as a key player in her fight against Justin, implying that Taylor is actively supporting her in the battle. In fact, Blake even went as far as to call Taylor her dragon. Now let's talk about this dragon thing. If you're familiar with Game of Thrones*, you know that Daenerys Targaryen had these powerful dragons that she used as weapons to crush her enemies. When Blake referred to Taylor as her dragon, it was as if she was saying Taylor was an unstoppable force ready to back her up. But the problem is, Taylor never agreed to be part of this battle. She wasn't there to be used as a weapon. She was just visiting her friend. If you were Taylor Swift, how would you feel if your close friend used your name without your permission like that? I know I'd be furious. You don't just drag someone into your personal drama and expect them to automatically support you, especially when they've never agreed to be involved. That's not friendship, that's manipulation. If Blake truly needed help, she should have asked Taylor directly whether she was willing to get involved. Instead, Blake threw Taylor's name out there as if she were a shield in a fight, and that's something Taylor simply won't tolerate. Throughout her career, Taylor has made it very clear that she does not appreciate being manipulated. She's fought hard to control her own work and to protect her name from being used by others for their benefit. From the battle over her music rights to refusing to let powerful people take advantage of her, Taylor stands firm in maintaining control over her own narrative. And if Blake is trying to use her in this way, it's no wonder Taylor would want to distance herself.
I like writing songs about douchebags who cheat on me, but I'm not gonna say that. In my monologue, I like writing their names into songs so they're ashamed to go in public, but I'm not gonna say that. In my monologue, you might think I'd bring up Joe, that guy who broke up with me on the phone, but I'm not gonna mention him. In my monologue, hey Joe, I'm doing real well. You might be expecting me to say something bad about Kanye and how he ran up on the stage and ruined my VMA monologue. But there's nothing more to say, 'cause everything's okay. I've got security lining the stage.
Blake Lively has a history of using her connections to benefit herself, and it doesn't sit well with me that she's now putting words in Taylor Swift's mouth, making it seem like Taylor was involved in something she never agreed to. Taylor has always been a staunch advocate for artists having control over their own work, so this situation feels particularly hypocritical. According to sources, Taylor's name has been used repeatedly, and one instance is especially outrageous. Blake allegedly told a young actress that Taylor had personally cast her in a project, something that wasn't true. If this is accurate, then we're not talking about a one-time mistake, but a pattern of behavior where Blake drops names and uses Taylor's influence to elevate her own status. That's manipulative and honestly, pretty messed up. What's even more interesting is that Taylor has said nothing about any of this. If you've been a fan of Taylor for any length of time, you know that her silence usually speaks volumes. When she doesn't comment on a situation, it often means she has a lot to say, but chooses not to. Taylor is always careful about what she addresses and what she lets slide. The fact that she hasn't publicly defended Blake suggests that she doesn't support her actions. Taylor hasn't even liked anything related to the situation, which is a pretty strong statement in itself. Think about it, if Blake was being honest, and Taylor was truly on her side in this conflict, why wouldn't Taylor speak up? She could have easily posted something supportive or made a public gesture to show they were still on good terms. She could have brought Blake to the Super Bowl, like she did last year, or even shared a simple post showing they were still close. But she hasn't done any of that. Her silence is deafening. Taylor knows how the media works. She's no stranger to how stories are spun. And she understands that sometimes the best way to make a statement is by saying nothing at all. If Taylor genuinely wanted to support Blake, she would have done so in some public way by now. The fact that she's distancing herself speaks volumes. Let's be honest. Taylor Swift doesn't want to be caught up in a Hollywood feud that she never signed up for. She's in the middle of a record-breaking world tour, re-recording albums, and managing a massive fan base that tracks her every move. She has an empire to run. She doesn't have the time or energy to be involved in unnecessary drama. To make matters worse, there are rumors that Taylor might even be subpoenaed, which is a nightmare for her. So what does this all mean? Right now, we're in a wait-and-see situation. Will Taylor drop a song subtly criticizing Blake for taking advantage of her? Will Blake try to fix things and make amends? Or is this the start of a serious falling out between friends? One thing is clear. When Taylor decides to cut someone off, she does it completely. If she feels betrayed or that someone has been disloyal, it's over. She doesn't do things halfway.